been learning about Abraham and Sarah, and last week 3 strange men came to visit them. We learned that they told Abraham that he was going to have a baby even though Sarah was barren. The story starts right where last week ended.
Now the 3 men were the Lord and 2 angels. Before they were going to leave Abraham, they decided to warn him. Genesis 18 verses 14 to 32 says, "Then the Lord said, the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great and their sin is so grievous that I will go down and see if what they have done is as bad as the outcry that has reached me. If not, I will know." The men turned away and went toward Sodom, but Abraham remained standing before the Lord. Then Abraham approached him and said, "Will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there were 50 righteous people in the city? Will you really sweep it away and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous people in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to kill the righteous with the wicked, treating the righteous and the wicked alike. Far be it from you. Will not the judge of all the earth do right?" The Lord said, "If I find 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake." Then Abraham spoke up again. "Now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, though I am nothing but dust and ashes, what if the number of the righteous is 5 less than 50? Will you destroy the whole city for the lack of 5 people? If I find 45 there," he said, "I will not destroy it." Once again he spoke to him. "What if only 40 are found there?" He said, "For the sake of 40, I will not do it." Then he said, "May the Lord not be angry, but let me speak. What if only 30 can be found there?" He answered, "I will not do it if I find 30 there." Abraham said, "Now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, what if only 20 can be found there?" He said, "For the sake of 20, I will not destroy it." Then he said, "May the Lord not be angry, but let me speak just once more. What if only 10 can be found there?" He answered, "For the sake of 10, I will not destroy it." When the Lord had finished speaking with Abraham, he left, and Abraham returned home.
God allowed Abraham to question him. He let Abraham confirm that God is the judge of the entire earth. Abraham assumed that justice is punishing the wicked and sparing the righteous, and God confirmed this through all the questions Abraham had.
The wicked are people who are evil and do not obey God's law, and the righteous are people who are blameless and obey God's law. God also taught that justice includes mercy for the sake of the righteous.
Genesis 19, verses 1 through 29. The 2 angels arrived at Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground. "My lords," he said, "please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night, and then go on your way early in the morning." "No," they answered, "we will spend the night in the square." But he insisted so strongly that they did go with him and entered his house. He prepared a meal for them, baking bread without yeast, and they ate. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. They called to Lot, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we may know them." Lot went outside to meet them and shut the door behind him and said, "No, my friends, don't do this wicked thing. Look, I have 2 daughters who have never known a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do what you like with them. But don't do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof." "Get out of our way," they replied. "This fellow came here as a foreigner, and now he wants to play the judge. We'll treat you worse than them." They kept bringing pressure on Lot and moved forward to break the door. But the men inside reached out and pulled Lot back into the house and shut the door. Then they struck the men who were at the door of the house, young and old, with blindness, so they could not find the door. The 2 men said to Lot, "Do you have anyone else here, sons-in-law, sons or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here, because we are going to destroy this place." The outcry to the Lord against his people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law, who were pledged to marry his daughters. He said, "Hurry and get out of this place, because the Lord is about to destroy the city." But his sons-in-law thought he was joking. With the coming of the dawn, the angels urged Lot, saying, "Hurry, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, or you will be swept away when the city is punished." When he hesitated, the men grasped his hand and the hands of his wife and of his 2 daughters and led them safely out of the city, for the Lord was merciful to them. As soon as they had brought them out, one of them said, "Flee for your lives. Don't look back and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains, or you will be swept away." But Lot said to them, "No, my lords, please. Your servant has found favor in your eyes, and you've shown great kindness to me in sparing my life, but I can't flee to the mountains. This disaster will overtake me, and I'll die. Look, here is a town near enough to run to, and it is small. Let me flee to it. It is very small, isn't it? Then my life will be spared." He said to them, "Very well, I will grant this request too. I will not overthrow the town you speak of, but flee there quickly, because I cannot do anything until you reach it." That is why the town was called Zor. By the time Lot reached Zor, the sun had risen over the land. Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. Thus he overthrew those cities and the entire plain, destroying all those living in the cities, and also the vegetation in the land. But Lot's wife looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and returned to the place where he had stood before the Lord. He looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah, toward the land of the plain, and he saw dense smoke rising from the land like smoke from a furnace. So when God destroyed the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham, and he brought Lot out of the catastrophe that overthrew the cities where Lot had lived.
God promised to destroy the city if there were less than 10 righteous men there. Even though there were less than 10, God had compassion on Lot and his family. God gave them the opportunity to get out of the city before he destroyed it.
Okay, guys, that's all we have for you this week. Up next, we have the Banassos reviewing last week's catechism.
Hey boys, how can we be saved?
Only by faith in Jesus Christ
and his substitutionary,
atoning death on the cross.
What does that mean?
He died for our sins so we don't have to.
Well, good morning, Randolph Street kids, and once again, happy Lord's Day to you and your families. I hope each of you had a great week and that you're looking forward to gathering here this morning with your church family to worship our great God together on this Lord's Day. So last week was question 29 in the New City Catechism. How can we be saved? And the answer, only by faith in Jesus Christ and his substitutionary atoning death on the cross. So as we mentioned last week, those are some big but very, very important words for you and I to understand. I hope you had time to talk to your parents about them. It is crucial that you and I understand the nature of Jesus' death for us as sinners. Thank you to the Banasso crew for helping us with question 29. Michael, Daniel, Isaac, Philip, you guys were phenomenal. You served your church family so well. And you are exactly right. Jesus died for our sins so that we do not have to. And that is the heart of the good news for us as sinners. Okay, now to question 30. What is faith in Jesus Christ? The answer, receiving and resting on him alone for salvation as he is offered to us in the gospel. So, God has spoken, is revealed himself and how he saves sinners through Jesus Christ. We receive that truth, we believe that truth with all of our heart, and we rest in all that God has done for us through Jesus. Randolph Street kids, that is how a sinner stands right before God, by trusting all that Jesus has done for us. Okay, we have a couple more weeks left on these Sunday morning Randolph Street Kids videos. You guys have been amazing through this process. We are so proud of all of your hard work. Let's finish well through these last few questions. We love you. We're praying for you, and I hope you have a great Lord's Day.
Good morning, boys and girls. Thanks for coming back and joining Abraham and I for another song today. This morning we are going to do question number 30. The question asks, what is faith in Jesus Christ? And just like all the other catechisms, it sure is an important one. We're going to sing through the question a couple times in a short answer, then more of an extended answer in the middle, and then we'll go back and review what we did at the beginning. It's a catchy little tune, so I don't think you'll have any trouble just jumping in. Should we give it a try? Who's ready? Okay, let's do it. What is faith in Jesus? What is faith in Jesus Christ? It's receiving and resting on Him alone for salvation. Salvation. What is faith in Jesus? What is faith in Jesus Christ? It's receiving and resting on Him alone for salvation. Salvation. As He has offered to us in the gospel. In the gospel, as He has offered to us in the gospel. That was that middle part I was telling you about. Ready to go back to your question? What is faith in Jesus? What is faith in Jesus Christ? It's receiving and resting on Him alone for salvation. Salvation. What is faith in Jesus? What is faith in Jesus Christ? It's receiving and resting on Him alone for salvation. Salvation. All right, we made it through the song today, and we're so excited. Thanks for joining us, guys. We hope we'll see you again soon. Goodbye now.